everyone, welcome back. It's still May 15th. It's around 7:30 right now. I'm in Zurich, Switzerland, and this is the second part of my story at the Globe. Club Globe, you can look it up. The place is for real. Anyways, I'm just back, so everything's fresh in my mind. I just talked about my first girl there. Long story short, her name was Catalina. Just like the porno website, Catalina, maybe Catalina Cruz, I don't know. But most of the girls, as I said, are from Romania. It's a hub. This is Europe. This is Switzerland. So in the center is actually Switzerland. So it connects with France, Italy, Germany. Amsterdam maybe. I don't know. Even Greece is closer, Romania, even down there you have Ukraine. So everyone comes here. Everyone comes to the, all will, gravitate towards social structure, the hierarchy, to make money. Whoever has in the world the best, the best treatment, the best treatment for a diverse population of people, and they manage not to fucking kill each other. You have like almost an advanced level of humanity. Peace and unity is formed amongst people. There's power in that. People get what they want. People avoid stupid shit, fighting, killing each other all the time. But that's everywhere. Humanity is still very violent, lots of crime, but Switzerland is good. Why? Because they have that social structure. They have that hierarchy established. They have men in power. And they're like, oh, you're sexist. No, it's true. Even if you don't like men, even if you're a feminist, you still have, there's competition amongst other men from other nations, from other cultures, from other whatever the fuck, from other gangs or other tribes, and you have to protect yourself from those violent men, or potentially violent men, or hostile men, or hostile cultures. And it's, so even if you establish this total, complete woman leader country, that doesn't mean, and you hate all the men in there, that doesn't mean like other kinds of barbarians aren't going to try to kill you. I'm just saying. Anyways, Switzerland does a very good job at establishing their borders. So they kick a lot of immigrants out, but so that they can have their Swiss citizens established. So that's why this hasn't turned into a complete shit show, like how immigrants just take over. I know there's problems in like England and Germany with that, and people come down from the Middle East and from Africa to the Middle East to the white European countries. There's too much shit boiling up. Degenerates just want nice things. They just gravitate towards where there's a good civilization. It's white people. They feel entitled. Oh, white people have nice buildings and cars and BMWs and Mercedes. So all the degenerates come flocking to you. All the criminals, all the rebels, all the M16 crazy ass gangs and shit. Men, and whoever they get pregnant just gravitate towards you. So anyways, that's how this is functioning. Romanian girls or whomever close to Switzerland are traveling to Switzerland and using it as a hub like Google or Facebook or Amazon. Like, this is the place to be for selling yourself and making money. Then when you make the money here, you go back to your home country and convert the money in. Much like the US dollar, the Swiss franc is very up there. And, you have it made. One of the girls is actually showing me She had a 2,000 Swiss franc bill, which is maybe equal to like 2,400 US dollars. 2,200, 2,200, at least 2,200 US dollars bill. We only have, people only carry up to $100 bills in the United States. I never seen anyone carry a $1,000 bill in the United States. I never seen anyone carry a $2,000 bill. But this lady was a prostitute. She was carrying around 2,000 Swiss franc bill. Again, it's equal to $2,300 USD at least. 2,200 at least. But no matter how much more money a girl has, she's a gatherer. Hunters and gatherers. She just hoards up all the money, you know. She could be a millionaire, but her primal instinct is telling her, hoard everyone's money. You know, she doesn't have the power or the knowledge or to give back to society in terms of money. It's just gather, gather, gather. All women are like this. Money, money, money. You know, they're incapable of helping anyone else. Maybe their child, maybe their like nuclear family. But they will not help a stranger. They will not help an American. Even a homeless person. Rarely. It does happen. But they will not help. You know, no one will help. But women especially. Again, it's just driven to hunters and gatherers. Just, a woman can have $1 million. She's incapable of helping men. You know, a man paying their bills because she doesn't want to be his mother. It's simple as that. You know, she would help her son, but she would not help a random ass man. It does happen though, on rare occasions, and when everyone sees it, they're in awe. They are shocked. So I knew what a lot of these girls were up to. Money, money, this. You just have to be careful and filter the bad girls out. And so I only had one girl today, believe it or not. I spent 12 p.m. to at least 4 p.m. So at least 4 hours there. 4 whole hours there. They also have a buffet upstairs. They called it a buffet, but the guy oh, excuse me. There's actually a team of chefs up there. And they will cook for you. They got today is a private menu, selective menu. Today they had fried pork or pasta. You get French fries too if you want. They got vegetables, carrots, beets, the whole 9 yards. All healthy food, all super healthy food. They have like pudding on the side, pudding-like dishes, cheese, fruits. I tried the fruit. I didn't really taste a significant difference in an American fruit that I've seen on like YouTube. Fruit is fruit. I really didn't feel any crispiness or freshness to it. Those tasted just like fruit. I mean, Jesus. I don't know what's real or what I see on other people's YouTube channel. Like, oh, fruit from Europe is so great. I don't know if it's a scam or a grift. You know, someone in China may be like, oh, fruit from China is much more organic and gives you super longevity and nutrients because it's from China. I don't know. It could be a scam. I don't know. Well, anyways, European fruit tastes like fruit in America. I didn't notice a significant difference. Not like I'm a taste tester or something. But for an average ass person, you would not know the difference. Maybe if you're super sensitive, a taste tester. I am not one of those. Just as a disclosure. So I only had one girl today because my credit card declined. My debit card declined eventually. and I felt like I was fucked. And I was. I only had cash. Thank God I had 150 and Swiss francs, which is like, I don't know, so like 170 USD. And, you know, that was the only girl I saw. You know, she gave me the oral. She was like white enough looking, Romanian girl. That was my choice, you know. My only goal was to just last long as possible. I mean, it must have lasted at least 5-10 minutes at most. Did that right. She also used a strawberry flavored condom, just so that I could go home safely without any STD or vaginosis or red spots sprouting the next day on my private junk. And once you use protection, if you never did it before, you don't feel anything. The girls are obligated or trained to do it without a condom, but you never know where her mouth has been. This one actually kissed me mouth to mouth, and I'm just like, I didn't want to go any further than that. You know, I don't know what these kinds of girls have. It's kind of scary, actually. But I got to taste the lips of another, of a girl. You know, in my mind, I'm probably like 15 years old. I am actually 40 years old, so I got a lot of growing up to do. This was a completely new experience, going by myself to one of these Swiss brothels. It's like a dream come true for me. Sadly, I was cut short. My debit card, credit card declined, so I only had one girl. So what did I do the rest of the time? You know, I have been approached by many other girls, and unfortunately I just had to say no and this and that because my credit card has been declined. I didn't confirm correctly that this club was, I'm in a foreign country. The chase is very cautious about your money spending. So whatever, they're gonna send me new cards, this and that, for fraud protection. So I knew just to play it safe. I only had like 100 francs to go home, Swiss francs to go home. It takes like 10 Swiss francs to go around, to come one way. You can negotiate with girls. It's just that I wanted to be safe, have enough money to get back, this and that, or have to, pay with cash for a taxi or whatever. I didn't even know I was gonna get back home safely to my brother's because my cards were declined. I used the same cards at the other Club Swiss, on Mondays, Tuesday actually, I think Tuesday. And I had 3 girls there, but this time I had tried to use the same card. It declined. I don't know. Of course I had the money, it's just that the card was, I don't know, this place triggered it. I don't know. My brother warned me not to use a card because there may be like some kind of mafia shit going on in the background. But anyways, the card got declined, so I'm like, okay, whatever, paid with cash. So we're good. So I decided to behave myself for the rest of the time. So after the first girl, I had the buffet and everything. I used the sauna, the steam room, the cold plunge, even, one of these angry German sounding ladies came out and even told me to, "Excuse me, sir, you're supposed to take a shower after you use the sauna and shit." I'm like, okay. So I just take a shower after that, and then I'm just, by the stripper pole, and they do the strip dance and everything, and put on shows. So there's blondes, there's brunettes, and I have the whole euphoria. But afterwards, the demon comes back to the loins, and I'm just like, oh shit, I got a nut again. So, I use the jacuzzi. I'm pulling a Pee Wee Herman. Because I don't have the money to be spending on a girl. It's 150 Swiss francs. I'm pulling a Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman could have saved himself if he just came to Switzerland. Donald Trump could have saved himself from Stormy Daniels' drama if he went to Switzerland. Imagine that. Bill Cosby could have saved himself if he just went to this club, to Switzerland, to a brothel in Switzerland. All these big money, powerful, famous men in America could have saved themselves if they just dropped their ego, said fuck it, came to Switzerland, stayed in a hotel for a week or whatever, and just went to the Globe or the Club Swiss and just paid with their debit card recommended. Just $100 for an entrance, $75 for the other one. $150, $150 for a girl for 30 minutes, and that's it. Don't ask me for no trans or homosexual shit. I don't do that shit ever. That's God. But yeah, that was it. It was lit, So I pulled a Pee Wee Herman in the sauna, and I periodically jumped in and out, And I'm not a bad-looking guy. Some of the girls checked me out and saw my junk, and some of them were like, ugh. Some of them were like, the way women look at men is very briefly. They just do a glance, You can't tell if they're aroused or they're like stimulated, but it's usually just very like to check you out. Again, you may see a smile, you may see a smirk, or you may see them like, oh god. But that's the most reaction you'll ever get out of them. It's just their nature just to not stare. Guys are terrible with staring. They just stare, at the boobs and the butt and the whole spiel. When he's going at it. It's a savage, But here, I learned a lot about human nature. Rules and regulations, culture. I mean, you can have nice things, provided that you live in a society that obeys by the rules and the laws of the founding fathers or whatever have you. In theory, but people are very crazy. They act like animals most of the time. Anarchists. But the Swiss people and the Swiss culture is exactly what the word is, culture, Very numerical, mathematical, left logic brain, and merit. They like merit, you have to earn things. Not necessarily for social validation. They will do whatever to earn. You even have to pay money to use the washroom in the train station. $1.50 Swiss franc. I don't know. That's like $2 in American money to use the bathroom. So you had to earn to go use the bathroom. It was a nice, 5-star looking bathroom. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even that, this diffuses people's entitlement, class. Most of the time, people are wearing suits. Men are dressed appropriately. A lot of them. Like, every day you'll see 40-50% of the men dressed up, or trying their best to dress up. And 10% of people are always homeless looking and shit. You got another, 20-30% that are just blue collar workers. So you just have like everyday people in the mix. So I stayed there until 4 p.m. And it was such a shame. I didn't have my credit card working. And my debit card declined. Fraud prevention. Maybe it was for the better. At the end of the day, I'm just like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home safely. So, Oswald's hierarchy of need is safety. I didn't like the feeling like, oh shit, I can't pay, the girl. I can't pay the management and that shit. They're going to start yelling at me in hardcore, like Swiss German. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to risk it. I knew the white guy with the bald head is going to come yell at me. I'll be like, oh, fuck this. Or I have to wash dishes for him. Or I have to suck his juju. I didn't want to risk that, So, I was being very cautious about it. I was like, fuck this. I know how criminals are. Sometimes they'll just like trap you in there and make you wash dishes or suck their juju. Or, don't drop the soap shit. I'm like, we're not doing this shit. So I behaved myself. Only one girl. Took a lot of restraint. So, 4 hours. And, the truth is, did I do a Pee Wee Herman once? No. After an hour or 2 hours, I don't know. I did a Pee Wee Herman the last time. The last nut. The third nut. Just so that I can control myself. Just to release my demon. Release. The guy's trying to release. So this girl is dancing on this pole. This girl is just wearing herself out, looking for a client. This one's doing this. This one's doing this. Just before that, there was a blonde across the room. There's a bar too. I'm just getting a drink, and I just approach her. She just trying to introduce myself. After pulling off Pee Wee Herman, and then without even asking, would you like a private room with her? She said, without me, I didn't even suggest. She's like, I'm sorry, but I don't see myself being with you. I don't feel a connection. She was just an okay blonde. Not super pretty. I said, you look very good. You look very beautiful. I was there and I saw your face and you look very beautiful. That's all I said to her. And she's like, I'm sorry. She's just small talk and she's just eventually like, I can't see myself being with you today. I don't feel a connection. And believe it or not, it's true. The women can sense if you nut or not. They can sense how much your nut sack is filled. Semen retention. Somehow they know. I don't know. Intuition. Women's intuition. She knew that somehow I violated the system. Like, I wasn't going to pay her money, Like, my nuts were empty. Like, I emptied out my nuts. Somehow, that's how she wasn't feeling a connection. That or maybe she just didn't like Asian guys. I don't know. I'm guessing that she sensed that my nuts weren't filled to the brim. And that I was horny enough. Because this never happened. This is the first time someone I approached actually kind of was like, no, I don't feel a connection with you. We're not going to be together. This is the first time I experienced a rejection from one of these dancing girls. One of these VIP girls. But Yeah, it rarely happens. But she was blonde, and I do like blondes. And I just want to tell her she's very beautiful, you know. Or at least in my mind, that's my fantasy. That's the Hollywood fantasy that I want to complete on my bucket list. Like, if I died tomorrow, I'll be like, at least I tried. You know, it's difficult enough for an Asian person to be approaching a white girl in general and trying to get with her. I'm like, at least I tried, you know. I tried. It's just like, okay. I dealt with I experienced the rejection, but I didn't take it to heart because I literally did actually nut and just wanted to say hello to her or to improve my, or just do it. Just to say, just for the sake of experience. You know, so I don't have communication atrophy. So I don't become too introverted. You know, clinically introverted. Introversion, clinical. That's the thing. You know, you could actually be schizophrenic. Catonic schizophrenic. You stay in the position too long, you turn into a statue. Just no communication, no reaching out to anyone, no connection with anyone, just being in your own little world. Catonic schizophrenic. I may have that problem too, along with like undiagnosed ADHD and all this, like dyslexic shit. I can't dance. I can't you know do it. I'm horrible at dance, like the cha-cha and this memorization and learning new languages. And being here is definitely an eye-opener for me. Learning about the culture, the language, Swiss German, and the people. Just making eye contact with people. That's why I went to this place. Because I knew it was like a kid in a candy store. These girls are very friendly. You know, these stripper European girls that work at these go-go bars, whatever, brothels, they have to communicate with you. You know, they're not gonna say, oh, you know, I'm busy. Oh, I have a boyfriend, and then you're just like, oh, I'm just wasting your time. Or I'm married. They're not gonna say that to you. That they're going to give you eye contact and try to talk to you, and make you their client. And you know, that's their job, to give the guy attention. To just, you know, even though it's a facade, it's their job to make sure the guy feels like, you know, a synthetic love, you know, almost a synthetic relationship. But that's everywhere, you know. So eventually, you know, people want to see Solomon Chau getting married, although there is a movie already called All My Life starring Harry Sheen. The other Solomon Chau in the movie died at the age of 26, so I'm 40, so I'm 14 years older. And I still don't have my shit straight, you know. I'm still scared of women doing the child support, pulling the child support off, doing the alimony, the spousal support, you know, the Tom Brady. I mean, I have no other experiences. It's like I was scared shitless. You know, even my debit card declined. Fraud protection, you know, fraud alert. My credit card, you know, just even having that feeling gave me so much anxiety. You know, all I wanted at the end of the day was to go home. You know, what if this girl I meet, you know, once is potentially my wife, starts suing me or whatever, claiming I owe child support? I mean, it was a very scary process. You know? So that's why I sympathize and didn't want to do this video outside of the globe, because, you know, if the wife finds out, you know, the husband's been cheating on her or going to this go-go, this Swiss brothel, you know, it's game over for him. There's fighting amongst the family, this and that, divorce, typhus, you know, whole 9 yards. So eventually I'm doing the sauna and going upstairs in and out and getting drinks and just trying to maximize, my scarcity mindset. Just pillaging the whole goddamn place, whatever I can, fit in my mouth. Just because I'm Chinese and I have the worst scarcity mindset ever. Just try to maximize my $100 entrance fee. Taking this, grabbing that, touching whoever, without being charged anything. Meeting all the girls without having to pay. Just talking to them for like the first 2-3 minutes. Trying to maintain eye contact. Trying to practice, my eye contact with beautiful white-looking girls. Some are young, some are old. I mean, you never know. And it's just like, how does this work? Are you supposed to save yourself for that one special No, absolutely not. It's just like you have to go against your primal urges. It's just, the right time, the right place. You never know. It's more likely than not the guy has multiple different girlfriends or partners. It's very likely. He's not going to just settle for one. It's unimaginable to me that a guy can biologically just stick with one woman for the rest of his life, from like the age of 20 to 55 at least. It's a good 20-25 years. Hell no, can a modern day marriage last that long? The guy's just too horny, and the girls just, her standards just, hypergamy is just too much. So anyways, I stay until like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. trying to get my ass out of there. Some of the girls are just like dancing and, just doing the stripper dance thing, and some of them are even in costumes. But you get so baseline of seeing girls naked, you're just like, oh, this is normal. You don't get horny anymore. You don't get too excited anymore. You just flatline. It's just like, oh, naked people. Okay. It's not a big deal. It's like seeing your mom naked. It's just like, oh, okay. But when you first come in there, the euphoria is like, oh my god. I'm sure some of the girls dancing have been like 1, 2, 3, so many years. It's just like, oh, just another day working. I did meet this one girl in the shower. It was the first day. While I was taking a shower, she was borderline Italian, Romanian, and Swedish, visiting here. I don't know, one of the bordering. One of the bordering neighbors of Switzerland. She was very beautiful, had a tan. I would have loved to get a room with her, but my credit card, debit card declined, unfortunately. A lot of times I was saying, maybe next time, girl. Maybe next time. I mean, this is my dream. I'm not going to be back for a whole nother year or something. Maybe I could die. I don't know. But yeah, this is my true account. Of the globe. I don't know when I'm going to be back here. So I only have like 100 euros left. Whoops, my brother. So that'll do it for me. That was it. I had to, get my ass out of there, take a train home, use cash only. And I'm just thankful that I got back. I'm thankful of my experiences. Thanking that you guys you at least know how it works, Is there hope for you? Or is there hope for young men? I don't know. Cash only. Work. Have a wife and kids. Or you'll become like me. I don't know. I'm the alternative to having a wife and kids. This is, you just become an old pervert man. A Pee-wee Herman. Well, the alternative is have wife and kids. That's usually how it works, like your parents. Repeat the cycle. History will just repeat itself. Good luck out there. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace out.